immediately. We've asked the experts on this, and they've told us that basically no amount of money can give you that. You need to give them time, you need to give them rest. And if people have ideas for ways that we can spend money, ways that we can change our policies and our uses that will give us that, believe me, no one sees what's being proposed as ideal or even desirable. If people have other ideas, we'd love to hear them, but the experts who we're talking to are giving us advice, and at this point, we think it would be not in the best interest of the community in the short term or the long term to keep throwing money, increasing amounts of money at these fields without following the advice that the professionals are giving us to protect that investment and protect these fields for the long term. So that's my response.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to address the Township Committee? Okay, seeing no one, will close it, and we're going to go. We have reports from our departments: Tax Collector, Chief Financial, Administrative reports. Ms. Viveros.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to bring to the Township Committee's attention that Elite Properties, Mr. Thomas Powers, is requesting to install a temporary well over at, might I say, DeHart? DeHart. As just sort of a testing, but it will be filled in back and restored. But it's just part of the additional wells that are out there at the moment.
About what?
It's part. There are additional wells out there, but this one is just a temporary testing, and it'll be filled and restored. So we have an indemnification already from Mr. Powers, so I would just recommend that we just move forward and give him the okay.
Yes. Yes.
Additionally, I have quite a bit of, it's that time of year where we have bids happening. So I just want to run down through a list and just get your consent to move forward. The HVAC system, janitorial services, hauling and disposal of leaves, biodiesel fuel. We're going out for a second time, the marketing of recyclable materials, a transportation bid, and the pool concession is up. I would like to recommend to increase the minimum fee. Right now we're at 16,000. I propose 20,000, but after doing some solicitation, I think I would be a little more comfortable with 18, just with some surrounding neighboring towns who have, for example, Wayne, who has a relatively new facility. They're at the lower spectrum. So I just wanted to, be a little more competitive on that end, but I don't want to short sell ourselves. So.
I will move it.
Okay.
Need a second?
Second.
Please call the roll on moving forward with these bids.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Mr. Daffis?
Yes.
Mr. Lembert?
Yes.
Mr. McGehee?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you.
And I just have one more item. I'd like to bring your attention that a while back I'd noticed that there was a garbage truck over at the pool parking lot near what's now we call the OEM building, 129 Boyden Avenue. Waste Industries from previous DPW director, Mike Bishop, sort of had a handshake agreement, if you will, yes, it was sort of a transfer station, if you will, and during the summer months, it would be moved to DPW. Now, while this is beneficial to the township, and I'll explain, because there are 3 facilities that they do not charge us for because of this agreement that we have. But I think in the interest of the township to move this forward, and with the recommendation from the DPW director, is to have it over at the DPW facility, not at the pool. Where I'd noticed that there was quite a bit of garbage, and I thought it was from Avalon, but after looking at it, that's the issue that came to be. So I'd like to go ahead, propose that we develop an agreement with Waste Industries to sort of solidify this and not wonder why we have a garbage truck at the pool facility, at the pool parking lot. So,
yeah, I would just. use your words carefully in devising the agreement. It's not a transfer station.
Right, absolutely not.
That it was looking like,
Are you okay with that?
yes.
It's an agreement, it's a barter.
I'm assuming
We let them park there and they take
Right.
care of some of our stuff, right? Okay.
the agreement will have something about no garbage being left behind them.
Okay, that's it.
Yes.
Desiderio?
No, I was going to bring up the issue of the temporary wells, but I have no report otherwise.
Okay. Ms. Fritzen?
Just one quick item. I just wanted to let the Township Committee know that we are aware of the situation with the wall, and we're working on that, and with the removal of those both murals. We don't know how much water damage has happened behind them. As you can see, it's a repeat of what we took care of 3 to 5 years ago. We have to bring in an expert to bring the murals down with our Public Works Department. We need to, we already have contacted the person that was involved 3 years ago, the company. We have notified the Historic Preservation Commission and our insurance company. So I just want to let you know it's in the works.
Ms. Fritzen and Ms. Viveros, on that point, I have heard from the Historic Preservation Commission as you reached out to them. And if you would mind working with Mr. Eric Hammerberg, in particular, who has looked into this before for us
Yeah,
extensively.
They mentioned that to me tonight.
Yeah, and so he would be happy to advise and provide
The
information.
company we used and the woman, the previous time, Mary McGinn, is also going to be involved again. She's no longer has her own company, but she's working for a firm.
But eventually, we're going to have to go through them anyway. So best to include them in the beginning of the process, especially Mr. Hammerberg, who has particular expertise with that.
I asked Susan Newberry to send me an email tonight to remind me of
Terrific.
Eric.
And I could do that too, as a liaison, if you'd like.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know that we're working on it.
Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, reports to elected officials. Mr. Daffis, you have anything else?
I do, Mr. Mayor. I have a report.
Yeah, well, it's 11:25, so.
But you know what? The public needs to know what I'm working on, right? Because they voted for me.
Yeah, sure.
Was that a rhetorical question?
So I'm sorry that it's late,
Alright,
but we
alright,
got to show the public that we're working for them. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. Okay? So I'm pleased to announce that our Youth Advisory Committee, members from our Youth Advisory Committee, along with students from across the state of New Jersey, were at the State House today, invited by a joint committee on public education that was co-chaired by Assemblywoman Mila Jacey and Senator Ronald Rice on the issue of climate and culture. The state is considering renewing its guidelines and possibly looking into additional legislation that relates to better climate and culture in New Jersey schools. And they invited students from across the state to come down and lend their voices. And that we had a couple of our own from the Youth Advisory Committee in Maplewood. That's why we created this awesome committee, and they did really, really well. In fact, we heard from certain Department of Education officials who said that their minds were changed in significant areas where they previously thought, that things were different when hearing from the students themselves. So our students are going to make the changes that we haven't made. So that's great. As Mr. McGehee mentioned earlier about the Maplewood Fund, I've been working with our local assistance board as the liaison in effort to, address the vulnerabilities that have been exposed since the shutdown. And in particular, to look into local shelters and transitional housing to address some of our own homeless that population that we've that we deal with in our town, especially during the cold winter months. I've been working with our special improvement districts on how we can strengthen doing business in Maplewood, getting merchants to buy into the special improvement district a little bit more, to mobilize in their efforts, to know each other more and to advocate for themselves. And been collaborating with the chamber in this regard. There's new leadership at the chamber, which is very interested in expanding the role of the chamber and collaborating with the special improvement districts in this regard. We are, as the mayor mentioned earlier, awaiting the final report from DCA on the Maplewood Village visioning. And as I alluded to earlier, some of those recommendations, the same people who want to see it are not going to like. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Looking forward to welcoming new businesses opening this year, Ani Ramen, Luna Stella. We encourage our residents who love the village and wonder why some merchants aren't doing well sometimes to go by and patronize and say hello and shop at some of our new businesses. Brave Florals on Baker Street, Bonji Bowls just opened up on Maplewood Avenue. They're facing Lot 7, which is the lot behind Garubo. Speaking of the village and parking and better wayfinding, we met with our PR firm a couple weeks ago. We are awaiting a revised map of the village that will help us highlight existing underutilized parking and to help us improve wayfinding in town as we continue to talk about how to tackle the parking problem. I'd like to highlight something that went out to press earlier today and will be going out in the coming weeks. Operation Blue Angel. This is from my work on the Senior Advisory Committee. Operation Blue Angel is very successful in many towns in New Jersey. It's a safety program that aids older adults, over 55 years of age. Those adults who are medically impaired, frequently live alone, and could use extra emergency assistance. The way that it works is you apply for this thing. This is a lockbox. In this box, you put a spare key. No one has access to this other than the police department. The police department is who you contact to come and put this in your house wherever you like it to be put, and only the police department will have access to the code. The idea here is for true emergency assistance to our vulnerable seniors at times of need, not for having a spare key for other people to get into your house. It is completely voluntary, and I got to tell you, and it's free. This is completely funded, because there are people out there who want to Oprah. It's completely funded by the SOMA Two Towns for All Ages program through the Grata Fund, and has been spearheaded wonderfully by our amazing SOMA Two Towns for All Ages coordinator, Kathy Rowe. So call the police department in South Orange at 973-763-3000 or in Maplewood at 973-762-3400 to ask about this. In terms of certain programs and special events, I'd like to highlight, please go to the SOMA Two Towns for All Ages.org website. Our rec department and our senior coordinator has put together just amazing opportunities for all ages to continue living a wonderful, vibrant life, an active life in our town. We have Valentine's Day is coming up. Truffles and Puppies Valentine's Day celebration is happening on Thursday, February 14th, between 11:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the Maplewood Senior Center. And Coffee with a Cop is happening on February 27th at 11 a.m. at the Maplewood Senior Center, where seniors can actually ask about the Operation Blue Angel program that I just mentioned. Also, we've started a new series where those who are not sure if they want to join the Senior Advisory Committee, they're at that stage, 55, in that transition, thinking about being seniors themselves. We welcome them to come out and meet the Senior Advisory Committee, which is doing a Talk to the Senior Advisory Committee series at the library. The next one is on February, let me get this straight here on the record, because I know someone is going to call me immediately if I get it wrong. February 9th, Saturday at 10 a.m. Come for coffee, share your ideas, concerns, and suggestions. Moving right along. CCR, the Community Coalition on Race, has been through an amazing year in 18 rather, of transformation and new marketing and new programming and activities. In fact, they have a brand new website. I invite our residents to go take a look. It's the Community Coalition on Race.org. It's a great website, and there you will get a lot of information, including about 2 important upcoming events for Black History Month celebration. Professor Hodges will be talking about his new book, New Jersey 1664 to the Present, Being Black in New Jersey, 1664 to the Present, and that is on Thursday night, February 7th, 7 p.m. at the Parlor at the Woodland, and the theater production of The Bubbly Black Girl Sheds Her Chameleon Skin this weekend, Saturday at 2 and 8, and Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Bergdorf. I'd like to commend the mayor and everyone else, our Cultural Affairs Department, for putting together, again, another fulsome Black History Month. There are all kinds of activities out there for everyone, free ones, to come out and celebrate Black history. Please go to the MaplewoodArtsandCulture.org website to get a complete listing of all of those activities. And finally, my office hours are really happening. We're going to publish the entire list for 2019. We're calling it Ask Dean, Let's Talk. And I'll be offering residents an intimate, twice monthly opportunity to come on by, listen about what we're doing, and let us know what we should be doing that we're not doing. We're starting things off this Saturday at 10 a.m. at Village Coffee. Come on by and say hello. My report.
Thank you. Ms. Adams.
Yes, Mayor, just a couple of quick things. I spoke with the Chief of Staff at the County Executive's Office last week about the proposed 500-car parking garage and expansion of the train at Turtleback Zoo. I expressed my concerns about the reservation being overpaved and the displacement of animals from their habitats and runoff to residents nearby. I received these plans, but their site plan is colored in with the building, what the building would be. But it kind of, they said that it's in the existing footprint, but really goes outside the footprint. So they're having a press conference at noon on Thursday. It's out there, but I just wanted to relay to everybody, but that they're expanding greatly, and I just think we need to kind of pay attention to that. The other thing is I'm just going to NJTPA tomorrow for a seminar, session, conference, whatever you call it, on green infrastructure, stormwater management, transportation infrastructure for green, and the assistant engineer is attending as well. So I will be able to share that with everybody at Engineering and Public Works. That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's a couple of things. First, I'd like to congratulate the HSA of Maplewood Middle School for a tremendous fundraiser event, the 6th annual trivia night. I had the honor to sit with the mayor on my team.
I was totally useless.
The name of our team was All Map, No So.
I didn't either.
But it was a great event. There are hundreds of people here, trust me. This is the season for really what our HSA and our PTAs get together, have fundraisers, and I just want to tell people to come out. Actually, this Friday, I will be at Psalms with the mayor, and Village President Ms. Collin will be judging the trivia event on Friday night at Psalms. We look forward to that. And then on Saturday, Tuscan is having their PTA silent auction as well over at the Woodland. So please come out and support those wonderful PTA and HSA organizations. I also want to recognize Summer Justice, which is having an event on Saturday at 2 p.m. It's the Trayvon Martin Happy Birthday Party. I think it's important that we recognize great youth that were lost senselessly from police violence, so 106 Burnett, yes, senior citizen, yeah. And you know what, that's my report, Mr. Mayor. I have other things, but I'm done.
Mr. Mayor, I have one thing. I just want to recognize a great event we had last week led by our recreation department where the Harlem Wizards came and played a game against
score.
many of our local employees, including Deputy Mayor McGehee, myself, several teachers from the school district.
Helped with warm-up.
You,
Helped warm up. I chased balls.
Ms. Adams and the mayor both showed up to support the hometown United squad. But the most important thing is that we had over 300 kids there that night. It was a very successful event. And while the hometown United did not win the game, there were no significant injuries. So really, that was a win.
That's a win-win.
That was a win.
And that is my report, Mr. Mayor.
You're not reporting on your score? You scored like 10 points or
Yeah,
something.
you did, like 25 points.
I find it's better to let others talk about that.
It's very smart, very smart. So, 4 things. First, the Maplewood Arts Council is about to put out the request for proposals for the tunnel art under the rail station. They've raised over $10,000.
Terrific.
To make this happen. So we will move forward with that. Second, years ago, you must have seen around town the no dam signs because of the idea that they were going to flood a portion of South Mountain. So I've been working on the Mayor's Council for Rollway River Watershed Flood Control, and the proposal that we had was to use the Orange Reservoir has been rejected by the Army Corps of Engineers. So there's now some new proposals, including maybe a smaller dam in the reservation. So I'm keeping a very close eye on this. I let the Mayor's Council know that this is not something that we could automatically support. We'd have to take a look at it. I'll be going to Washington with the group to meet with our congressional representatives and the Army Corps to find out what's going on. So this could be a developing story.
Ask him about the,
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Just so your calendars, we're planning to revive the Welcome to Maplewood at the library on April 30th. It's a Tuesday night. It'll be in the evening. And we have a meeting Thursday about that. And my office hours are next Tuesday, the 12th at 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. And with that, can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.